Next speaker slip is, it's JW, or Bill, is it Ingraham? I can never get your name right because you cover your face there, but go ahead.
Yeah. Hi, thank you. Yeah, I'm Bill Ingraham. I often go off script, so I'll try to stay fairly close. But I do have a couple of comments. First of all, I'm Bill Ingraham. I'm a Redlands resident and a Coyote Aviation tenant. But I noticed that Eric Paul's lease was on the agenda, and I compliment the city for getting through that process and getting that to an item that hopefully has the approval of all the parties. It's been a while since we heard anything about Coyote Aviation and what the city's doing, or what Coyote's doing. I assume that there's something positive going on, and that the city, contrary to the view of many of the people at the airport, is not stalling until public interest and concern dies. Because we know there's quite a bit of an outcry at first, and now that's kind of quieted down. I attended Airport Advisory Board 2-3 weeks ago, and learned the city is looking at options for construction of new hangars at Redlands Airport. And one of those options that was mentioned was seeking proposals from hangar developers for such construction. I'll remind the council that in the early 2000s, I was the county's director of airports. And when I showed up, and Chino Airport had not had a new hangar development in over 20 years. The problem was that the county had a lease that had a solid 20 years with a reversion at the end. And then developers that were in the development business, not hobbyists and people like that might invest money at risk and not realize it, wouldn't do a deal for 20 years, obviously. So I worked on a pitch, if you would, for the Board of Supervisors, and we came up with an evaluation that came in with the cost of money, reasonable returns on investment for developers that develop facilities, and CPIs, the whole 9 yards. And we built a big Excel spreadsheet, and at the end of the deal, we actually got 4 different developers, professional development companies, to build hangars at Chino Airport. We built over 70 box hangars, for example. Box hangars being square hangars, many of them with offices and businesses on the street side. These projects were funded on the ground, leased to them with the county with options well beyond the 20 years. They had the lease deal was 2 10-year options on a 20-year period. That assumes, if you think about it, that the economy is good and they're actually leasing those hangars through the term. Okay, that 20-year lease, the limit that the county had in the past, wouldn't have done a deal. Imagine the interest.
Can you wrap this up, please?
Okay, I'll do it right now. Imagine the interest such developers would have if they had, at Redlands Airport, if they learned that we're not being that square with a developer who was not a professional developer, and in my opinion, entered the lease with some ambiguities. And so it's a partnership, and I hope that we proceed in that view. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your opinion.